What's up, Garden Warfare fans? It's Strangelove here, and today's video is for all you achievement hunters because I'm going to be showing you how to complete the No Man's Land achievement in Garden Warfare 2. Now, this achievement does involve collecting those little gold gnome statues that you'll be seeing everywhere in the game, so if you're having trouble collecting these on your own, or if you want to know what they're used for, keep watching this video because this one's for you. Now, of course, this is going to involve some spoilers regarding not only the achievement, but a secret location in the game as well, so if you're trying to avoid spoilers, I suggest you stay off the internet for a little while, or at least stay off of YouTube for a couple days, and try to find all the achievements for yourself before they're completely spoiled by the internet, and then come back to this video when you're ready. Alright, so I'm going to start off by showing you some different locations where you can find some gold gnome statues pretty easily, and then I'm going to show you the rest of the achievement and how to complete it. But if you've collected a decent amount of gold gnome statues already and you want to just try and complete the achievement quickly, you can just skip ahead in this video using the timestamp in the description so that you can see how this achievement unfolds. Alright, you guys, so the very first gold gnome statue that I found was in DaveBot3000's garage, and all you have to do is talk to DaveBot through the door, complete a very quick little challenge for him so that he can, unlock the door for you, and then once you get access to the garage, head to the left side and you'll see the gold gnome sitting on the table. Next up, we're going to head over to the soccer field, but first, make sure that you're a character that can jump really high, like the Pew Shooter or Super Brains, because this one's in kind of a hard-to-reach location. So, once you're at the soccer field, look up at the scoreboard, and you should be able to see the little gold gnome hat sticking up from the top of the scoreboard. Hop up on the edge of the bleachers, and then walk to the back of the scoreboard, and if you're a Pew Shooter like myself, you're going to use your hyper ability and jump up to grab the gnome while you're still in the air. Now you're going to head over to the Zom docks over on the side of the marketplace, in between the two halves of the backyard, and obviously I did this at a bunch of different times, that's why I'm a different character, but you can do this all at once if you wish. Now this gold gnome is really easy to find, it's just over to the right side of the docks, in a little drainage pipe behind the bars. Alright, now we're going to head over to the zombie side of the backyard, and you can respawn as a zombie if you want, or you can try to do this as a plant if you wish, it's up to you. However, one of these gold gnomes that I'm about to show you is going to require you to be a scientist, so you might as well switch to the scientist class now just to save yourself the extra step. So the first gnome over here on the zombie side is in the mansion area, and you just come around the corner here just past the multiplayer portal, and look on the ground for a little shallow grave with a little gold gnome sticking out just looking for a new home. Alright, so now we're going to head into the sewers, and there's a couple gold gnomes to find in here. One of them is really close to the zombie side, so we're going to go through the zombie entrance and head down this corridor here. Now once you find this little opening, there's going to be a little gold gnome sitting there behind bars, and just keep in mind that some of these gnomes are close to the ground, and if you're a taller character like Super Brains, you might have trouble actually collecting the gnome, so you'll just have to change to a character that's shorter like a Pea Shooter or something in order to grab it. Alright, so we're going to continue through the sewers over here, and hopefully you switched to the scientist when I told you to do so earlier. Otherwise, go ahead and respawn, change to the scientist, and I'll wait right here. Are you ready? Okay, so this gnome is right across this gap here, and you can see the little nest where the gnome is going to be sitting over on the left corner. And what you're going to do is warp across to try and reach the other side. But the only strategy or tips that I can give you here is to stand really close to the edge, take a step forward, and warp immediately, and try to aim a little bit upward, and hopefully you'll make it across in one piece. Now, there's also going to be a gold gnome in each of the hero portals, but I haven't unlocked all the hero portals yet, so I can only show you Agent Citron's portal, but this one's pretty easy to find, it's just straight ahead. But if you've been completing the story quest and you have more hero portals unlocked, just search around in each of the portals and you'll be able to find the gold gnomes pretty easily. Alright, now we're going to shift from the backyard battleground over to multiplayer. Yes, there's actually gold gnomes that you can find in the multiplayer maps. Now, I've only found golden gnomes on 2 of the Turf Takeover maps. There might be more, and they might be in other game modes, but I can only show you guys the ones that I've found, so let's get into those right now. Alright, so first off, you're going to fire up Gardens and Graveyards and head to the Great White North. Now, keep in mind that you don't have to do this against competitive players. You can just fire up a private match or solo play match, and I recommend removing all of the AI companions and enemies, so that way you're the only one on the map, and it makes things so much easier when you're trying to look around and find these collectibles. Okay, so the first gnome on Great White North is found at, I believe it's the third base, which is where the hockey rink is located. And while you're at the hockey rink, look up to the right and you'll see this huge mountain that looks like a yeti with his mouth open. And you're gonna walk up this little path into the yeti's mouth, and at the back side there's this mysterious looking ice wall that's just begging to be broken. So go ahead and fire away at the ice wall and head to the back to find the golden gnome. Now there's two more golden gnomes that I know about on this map, and they're both at the next capture point, which I believe is the cabin that's shaped sort of like a watering can, and it's just past all of those steep cliffs and deep ravines that are on the way to the area. From the capture point, turn right and go underneath this bridge that's over the frozen stream, and look for these frozen little walls underneath. You're gonna shoot at them to break them open, and one of them will contain a golden gnome. From the bridge, you're gonna follow the frozen stream to the lake that's at the back of the capture point area, and you're gonna try and jump onto this little frozen ice cap in the middle of the lake. Try not to fall in while you're doing it. And then once you're standing on the ice cap, go ahead and shoot this little button that's over there by the tree line, and you'll see something very special pop up in the water. I was actually kind of hoping some creature would emerge from the depths, but you know, a golden gnome will do just fine. Alright, the last two gold gnomes that I know about in multiplayer are on the Herbal Assault map, Zomburbia. So in order to find these gnomes, you're going to need to make it to the third capture point, which is the zoo area, and the first one is over here on the left. It's closer to the zombie side, so if you happen to be a zombie, you'll find this pretty easily. But look for these little scorpions in a cage, and to the left, you'll see a broken cage, and on the back side, there's a little box that contains a golden gnome. Alright, now head over to the opposite side of the park area toward where the aquarium is. Go to the top side of the aquarium where it's kind of like a lake, it has a little dock, and look for this little sewage drain with another gold gnome sitting right behind the bars. Once again, it's going to be easier to be a short character to grab this one, so if you're a pea shooter or some other short plant, you should be able to grab this pretty easily. Alright you guys, now that you have a decent amount of gnomes in your collection, it's time to complete the rest of the No Man's Land achievement. Now, I'm not sure how many gnomes are actually required to complete this achievement. I had about 10 or 11 when I completed it, but you may require less, so go ahead and try this out with a handful of gnomes. If it doesn't work, then just gather some more gnomes and try again. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is head to the marketplace in the backyard battleground, and you're going to look for a blue payphone on the wall of a building just past the Noam Chomsky bookstore, which is a very funny reference, by the way. If the phone is ringing, that is a good sign. Go ahead and pick it up and see what the person on the other line has to say. Now, for me, the phone actually rang twice at 2 different times, and the first time, the conversation didn't really go anywhere, it just sort of ended, and I think it might have been because I was playing as a zombie, but I'm not really sure. But when I answered it the second time, the conversation went a bit differently, and you're gonna want this conversation to happen. Alright, so once you get off the phone, you're going to be told to head over to the docks to pick up your special key, which happens to be a gnome bomb. Go ahead and pick it up, and don't worry, this gnome bomb doesn't have a timer, so it's not going to explode on you. Now, if you want to wander around the backyard trying to figure out where to put this thing, by all means, feel free, but if you want to just follow my steps, it's a lot easier. So, you're going to carry the bomb to the sewers. I recommend you use the entrance underneath the flag of power because it's a lot closer to where you need to take it. Just follow the corridor like you're going to go to the Crazy Targets range, but right before you get there, turn left and you'll see these metal bars blocking an opening, as well as a little gnome bomb silhouette. Go ahead and drop the gnome bomb and take a few steps back so you don't go kablooey. Alright you guys, this is it. Go ahead and enter this mysterious corridor and make note of the snow globe in the corner if you're collecting snow globes. Keep going down the path until you reach this big epic chamber with a couple chests out front and a huge gnome statue in the center. Now this chamber is of course called the Chamber of Gnomes, and as soon as you step inside you'll receive the No Man's Land achievement. And if you look around the room, you'll actually see all the gold gnome statues that you've collected up to that point. There's also a chest in the center of the room that costs 200 stars, which I'm not even close to having anytime soon, but I have a feeling that this chest might have something to do with this locked door that's just outside of the chamber, but I'm just gonna have to save up some stars to find out. Alright you guys, I'm going to wrap up this video by unlocking the 2 chests that are out front of this chamber so that you guys can see what's inside, and the chests don't cost any stars to unlock, so think of it like an extra reward for completing the achievement. Alright, so in the left chest we get a buttload of coins, as well as a petrified tree, which is a super rare backyard item, and I'll show you guys where you can place these items in the backyard in just a minute. And over in the right chest, we get another buttload of coins and the Tactical Cute super rare backyard item. So if you want to place these super rare backyard items, you have to head over to the Zom docks once again, and you'll see this little pile of rubble here that you can clear for 5 stars. And clearing the rubble will reveal this little crystal ball that lets you put different backyard items out across the water on the other side of the lake. And as you can see, these super rare backyard items are gigantic, which is why they have to sit on the opposite side of the lake, because they just tower over everything else, and they obviously wouldn't fit on either the mansion or the treehouse side of the backyard, which is why clearing the rubble here cost a few extra stars. Alright you guys, you've made it to the end of the video, which means that you have all the knowledge you need to gather a handful of golden gnomes, get a couple backyard items, and unlock the No Man's Land achievement. If you're looking for more Garden Warfare 2 content, I've got more on the way, so make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all of my Garden Warfare 2 uploads. Thanks so much for watching, and until next video, this is Strangelove signing out.